So guys, we had started the foundation of Indian National Congress. As you can see, what was the thing you understood about the foundation of the Indian National Congress? What did we discuss before? What is the background that I was talking about? The foundation of the Indian National Congress. How do you define it? How did Indian National Congress form? What was the background where we saw that Indian National Congress was formed?
Formation of an elite group and not extremists, and this model in representation.
What are the factors? That's what I'm trying to ask you. What are the factors that led to the foundation of the International Congress? And who were the people? As she rightly said, that the people were who? The elite section of the Indian society. The elite section in the sense in Bengal, in Maharashtra, in Tamil Nadu, the educated people, the upper middle class people, because the lower middle class people had no wherewithal to fight with whatever problems were happening in agriculture or in economy. Okay, and you see, even in the Swadeshi movement, which we'll be talking about in a course of our lecture, the problem remained that there was a section of the society led by International Congress and the Bhadraloks of Bengal. Bhadraloks means the educated upper middle class people or the middle class people, or the Chitpavan Brahmins of Maharashtra. So it was more of a upper class centric revolution or a movement to begin with. As you can see, the party was formed in 1885 by British civil servant A.O. Hume. Okay, गिरना मत पड़ो. ठीक है, with the अब इससे बच्चों को टाइम दिखता रहेगा, ये देख लो भाग जाएंगे तो इन दोनों को बात देता हूँ मैं. अच्छा क्या करें, मूडी घड़ी है, मूड पे चलती है. मोबाइल नाम की भी एक चीज होती है, इसमें भी टाइम आता है वैसे. अच्छा है, गुड. So what I was discussing is A.O. Hume. You see, there were some people in the bureaucracy of the Britishers who were sympathetic to Indian cause, who knew that Indian people have been exploited, be it religiously, be it on the basis of economy, be it on the basis of resources they were extracting from us. You understood what I'm trying to say? The revolt of 1857 was just there to tell them. Before 1857, there were so many revolts, small, patchy, Vellore mutiny in 1806, or the Zamindars revolted even in 1795. The reasons I've told you: the exploitation of the Indian economy, the destruction of Indian handicrafts, the exploitation of Indian resources for the fueling of the Industrial Revolution, which was happening in England, in Europe. Some of the historians say, had Industrial Revolution not been wouldn't have happened in Europe, it would have happened either in China or in India. We never know. But certainly, one fact is very clear, that Indian economy was kind of perished, kind of destroyed. Why? Because the raw material was taken from India and imported goods. So, and these goods could have been produced in India by our own machines, indigenous machines. It could have taken more time, but it could have given more people more jobs. On top of that, the decline of the market where Indian handicrafts were going was the traditional bureaucracy, which was shattered, destroyed by the East India Company, then the British Crown. Things I've told you: the gowns, the kind of clothes the courtesans wear, the kind of demand in courts had, everything played. On top of that, after that, what happened was, after 1857, we saw a range of people who were Western educated, who came up, and along with the sympathizers like A.O. Hume, he was a British civil servant, and there were people like Dadabhai Naoroji, who was from Maharashtra. D. Vacha was also. These people were rich people, but very much aware of the conditions of India. Okay, the first session of the Indian National Congress happened at Bombay. The picture I've shown. So, who were these people? Politically minded means politically aware. You can write these. Hi, Pooja. Okay. So what led to this foundation? This is a very important point that I would like to have your attention. Aimed to obtain greater share for Indians in Indian governance. A lot of acts being passed till now, but the share of Indians in the council. What was the council? Council was the house which like parliament, which was making laws for Indians, and there were very few Indians in that house with the parliament, which was functioning on behalf of the British crown. In a nutshell, I could say that there were no participation of Indians. As I talked about, no taxation without participation. This was a famous saying in American War of Independence when the native people, because America was a colony of whom? Of Britain. So British people were ruling Americans. So American War of Independence, 1776, happened on the basis of on more representation of whom? Natives, the Americans, not Americano, coffee. Okay. So the same case was happening. Why were these people influencing American War of Independence took place 800 years ago? So there might be people circulating newspapers. So many newspapers came up. So they might be influencing Indian people who went to Oxford, who went to Cambridge. So they got aware of how American War of Independence is happening. How French Revolution is talking about what? Liberty, equality. Equality is not just a term. Equality means equality in representation. Liberty from imperial government. हिंदी में इसको कहते हैं साम्राज्यवादी, means which is expanding using others resources for their own growth. Who is exploiting our resources? The Britishers are exploiting our resources. This point you can write. And this gentleman, first president करके सिर्फ इतना लिख दो, उमेश चंद्र बैनर्जी. टेस्ट दिया था कल? एक बोल रही नहीं, एक बोल रही हाँ, मतलब ऑनलाइन नहीं दिया था. अच्छा, आया भी उसमें से कुछ की? Please read the explanations. ठीक है, you can find a link. ठीक है, because the foundation which happens for history is of at least 3.5 months. So I had to do it in a month and a half. So it took like half the topics I couldn't do. So I gave you the explanations. You can easily go through it. Otherwise, we'll be having a doubt session also. That is not a problem. ये हो गया? This lady is very important. Her name is Kadambari Ganguly, first women graduate of Kolkata University. इसको लिख लो यार, ये वैसे तुम्हें दिया हुआ है, but still it's Ganguly means Bengali. The time period is 1861 to 1923. Okay, so let me first give you a brief introduction about the phases and aims of how Indian National Congress went. This is the first phase where we are requesting, where we are pleading to give us more representation, more concessions. Requesting for representation. Okay. To reduce taxation. Tax on which tax are we giving? Salt tax, other revenues we are giving. This is the first phase. 1905 we have Swadeshi movement. 1905 till 1915, coming of Gandhi, we had second phase. This is the first phase when we are pleading, there's no bargaining, there are few sections of society which are coming up, you know, and the second phase is along with the revolutionary phase of India. So we are not only pleading to them, we are also killing the unpopular officers. Our revolutionaries will be discussing this. So there's more bargaining. Mind you, in Swadeshi movement, we had people who are fighting for the rights. Why was Swadeshi happened? Because of the partition of Bengal. Why was Bengal partitioned?
Administration.
Because you see, the first phase we'll be doing, the second phase comes when we see there's a partition of Bengal, and this time period is the time period of coercion. Lot of people from Bengal are joining the revolutionary phases, revolutionary organizations like Anushilan Samiti. Anushilan Samiti will be writing those things when we'll be dealing with the revolutionary part, because that comes after this, because there are two parts of it. पहले तुम लोग request करते हो घर वालों से कि प्लीज मुझे बाइसिकल दिला दो, मुझे कार दिला दो, फिर तुम रोने लग जाते हो. There are two ways. फिर तुम्हारी क्या होती है? छतर पड़ते हैं, कुटाई होती है. That's the revolutionary phase from your mother or father's side. You understand what I'm trying to say? So this is the first part of how, and you see, the Indian National Congress was thought to be very non-harming. इनका क्या ही है, क्या करेंगे, 4-5 लोग हैं. But gradually what happened was, till this phase, we see revolutionaries coming up from Bengal, from Maharashtra. कभी किसी ने किसी को गोली मार दी, कभी किसी ने किसी को कर दिया. Why? Because partition was happening to Bengal. And Bengalis were the ones who were said to be effeminate. ये तो martial class नहीं है. There was a concept of martial classes and non-martial classes. Who were the martial classes? जो लड़ सकते हैं, जैसे सिख, जैसे जाट, जैसे मराठीज, Rajputs also. And there are people who are non-martial, like they used to call them effeminate Bengalis. So ये उनके दिल में लग गई. In 1903, that's why we had the formation of Anushilan Samiti in Kolkata, which had subsequently two parts. ये लिखाऊंगा मैं, I'm there in the notes. And Anushilan of Bengal. So here we are at the second phase of it. And in this phase, these revolutionaries come from middle class. What was happening in the first phase of the revolution? It was basically a upper class centric. But now what is happening is a lot of revolutionaries from middle class are coming, who are not only pleading, but who are also fighting neck to neck, guerrilla warfare kind of a thing. That was the first phase of revolutionary. Okay, so after the third phase of Indian National Congress and the freedom movement comes when Gandhi comes. So he uses these two phases. So till now we see that in the second phase we see more people joining the Indian National Congress and their offshoots. Since Indian National Congress was basically pleading on behalf of non-violence. But these revolutionaries are the other way of looking at things. They are not pleading, they are killing. They're extremist kind of a thing. But somewhere or the other, they are Bengalis, patronized by others, the intellectuals, supported by them, and very much liked by others. Since Gandhi is not on the scene till now. But when Gandhi comes, then there is more emphasis to the non-violence. But the point is, do we stop violence? Bhagat Singh comes after Gandhi? Or Kakori happened after Gandhi? Azad, Chandrashekhar Azad came after Gandhi? Ras Bihari Bose and others. I'll make you write all those things. So this is the second and the third phase. In addition to what I've said, the first phase of International Congress or other offshoot organizations, when it comes to the Indian National Congress, the Swadeshi movement basically was a sympathetic movement which had its genesis in anti-partition movement. Swadeshi movement क्यों हुआ था? बंगाल का partition कर दिया. Partition क्यों किया? क्योंकि they wanted to break this revolutionary organizations. कि भाई बंगाल में दो तरह के लोग रहते थे, Hindus और Muslims. But the common point between these two were both of them spoke the same language, that was Bengali. Very good. The British, in order to break this revolutionary instinct, this what do you call it, a sense of togetherness, they wanted to break it. They did what? They broke it. What did they say? It's too big to administer. The Bengal is too big to administer. But the underneath, what do you call it, intention was to break Bengal. And what is Bengal? What are the areas that come under Bengal? Understood what I'm trying to say? चलो लिखिए फिर आगे की स्टोरी बताऊंगा आपको.
ऐसे statement question that thought is that about tribals में. So I did the C part, but the next one we did right. So कोई confusion नहीं, concept is just चलिए हम ऐसे statement कर लेंगे. We talk about the next most important one. I'm supposed to.
Common factor, no? There is a large number of. Your mom is calling. इतनी सुंदर है आपकी मम्मी. क्वेश्चन तो दिखा दे फिर यार. The complete disruption of the old agrarian order of the tribals. The answer is D.
Yes.
So, introduction of the new.
We talked about the next part.
ठीक है, फिर आ गए थे मम्मी का फोन. सोच रही हूँ तुम किसी और के साथ. Just call her and just tell her. She doesn't know me. सब पापा की परी होती है तो मम्मी की परी है. ये क्या हो गया? Oh, she highlighted all these things. Nice. Pooja, I hope you can see what is written in this, as well as with the intention to creating alienation between people. Yes. True. Love it. Shukri. हाँ, देखो भाई, all the things are there which I have told you.
Yes, sir.
There's a question, Pooja, which among the following provided a common factor for tribal insurrection in India in the 19th century? Insurrection का मतलब क्या होता है? Insurrection is intrusion. So the first is introduction of the new system of land revenue and taxation is tempting. Second is influence of foreign religious missionaries in tribal areas. True. Rise of large number of money lenders, traders, and revenue farmers and middlemen in tribal areas. ठीक है. And the fourth one is complete disruption of the old agrarian order of the tribal communities. Now, देखो भाई, ये question जो है, this was very much debated. What was the end point? What was the end point? Where did everything boil down to? भाई सब कुछ बर्बाद कर दिया उन्होंने. अंत में तो बर्बाद हुआ. These are the things which was happening, which ultimately led to the disruption, na?
Basically, the primary purpose of taking up was to take up their lands.
Yes.
After that, that is what the agricultural option is there.
No. I'm saying ultimately what happened is all their industries, all their livelihood were destroyed. That's what I'm trying to say. Tribals are living where? Jungles. Intruding. Who is intruding? Along with moneylenders. The nexus I was talking about. Ultimately, what happened? बर्बादी किसकी हुई? Tribals की ultimately बर्बादी होगी. तो D इसलिए होगा. I would have easily marked C, but the point is, yeah, UPSC. Are you sure that UPSC is given D? नहीं, which answer key did you check from? Is it there in UPSC answer key still now? It 2011 का question है क्या? Okay.
The next part.
Yeah. But did I not tell you that it ultimately led to the, it was there in the PPTs also, you can go and check. You see, I will give you all the things chronology wise. What I have given you is why it happened in Bengal also. Then subsequently, all of the things which I'm telling you, I've been told thoroughly. Due to paucity of times, I cannot go into details, but the point is, UPSC is asking about the ultimate thing. There was a similar question of why was Fort William College established? बताओ भाई क्यों established किया था? पूजा? Why was Fort William College established in Calcutta? अच्छा. अच्छा. I repeat, why was Fort William College established in Bengal or in Kolkata, to be very specific, in 1804 to 1805? अब तुमने 4 ऑप्शन पढ़े, तुम्हारा दिमाग घूम गया. Okay. There was another question on the similar lines. What was the impact of British land revenue system on India in first half of the 19th century? बताओ. क्या बोल रही पूजा? To train the civil servants. Yes, she's right. Second question, क्या बोला मैंने? What was the impact of the British land revenue system on the Indian agriculture in the first half of 19th century? This was a specific question, just to add to what you have said. फोन है भी दोनों के पास, जरा गूगल करो इसी क्वेश्चन को. हाँ हाँ, मैं वही तो कह रहा हूँ. मतलब हाँ, मतलब वही ब्रिटिशर्स ऑफ कोर्स. यूपीएससी करना है उसके आगे जो क्वेश्चन. Is there this question? है? What are the options? देखो. Sorry, the question is, which of the following were the reasons for the lack of economic development in India in the 19th century? ठीक है? First, इसको कैसे होगा यार? पहला ऑप्शन बताओ. And please repeat the question. Land fragmentation. हाँ पढ़ लो. Okay, the question is, which of the following were the reasons for the lack of economic development in India in the 19th century? First option is, officially the British government was committed to a policy of laissez-faire, but it was actually a policy of discriminatory intervention. Second option says, European entrepreneurs had connections to banks and agency houses, while Indians had to rely on kin, family, and caste men. Third option, when plantations were transferred to individual capitalist ownerships, native investors were deliberately ignored. क्या सही है इसका? Yes, all the three options are right. ठीक है, आइस भाई. प्लीज लुक एट द अल्टीमेट पिक्चर, लुक एट अ थिंग इन अ टोटलिटी. अभी क्या हिस्ट्री का सीन क्या है तुम लोग का कि तुम्हें फैक्चुअल चीजें बताई जाती है. What I've been telling you is please understand the whole concept. Facts are also important. Without facts, history is nowhere. But the point is, facts has to be understood rationally in a totality. Difference है ना भाई. एक हाथी ने किसी की सूंड पकड़ ली, किसने पूंछ पकड़ ली, ऐसा मत करो. Look at the elephant in a totality. चलो. So, what are the aims of the Indian National Congress? To find democratic national movement, to politicize politically educated people, to promote. This is very important. Develop and propagate an anti-colonial nationalist ideology. You can write these two, but you can just have a look at all those things. This is very important. This is very important. UPSC might also ask that what was the difference between Indian National Congress from its inception to 1930s to 1940s. I've given you the phases now. I'll give you the phases of revolutionary movement also. When UPSC might ask an analytical question. Okay. Pooja Keri, all the three are right in that this thing. You can Google this question if you want to. Okay, guys, these are the leaders which are important. Okay, so you see, just to write the facts which are relevant to you in the present context. The first part of it says, these are the leaders, and this is the time period. Abhay Dada Bhai Naroji is called the Grand Old Man of India. The reasons I've told you, he was the member of British House of Lords, not House of Commons. House of Lords means Rajya Sabha. जिसके पास ज्यादा पैसा है वो जा सकता है वहां पर. I mean, kind of. Sachin Tendulkar has more wherewithal. As can go to this thing. Or Tata's. So, so obviously he will be having relations in Swadeshi movement because he's there. He will not be there in Quit India movement. तब तक तो मर गया होगा. अब कोई बोले तुम दादा भाई नौरोजी was a part of civil disobedience movement. अब उस टाइम पे दादा भाई 60 grand old man of India means 60 plus हो गए होंगे. अब वो 100 साल तो नहीं जिएगा. आप समझ रहे हो? तो ये चीज ध्यान रखना थोड़ा सा. The second part is very important. इसको लिख लो. He became the first Indian to become a member of the House of Commons. Sorry, House of Commons. Yes. Yes, he was a citizen of Britain. Actually, he was a citizen of Britain, so that's why he could become the House of Commons. Lower house का भी हो सकते हैं. Members बन सकते हैं. Sorry, factual error. So throughout his life, he stayed there like for 20-30 years because he was educated and he was what do you call it? Parsi. Narojis are Parsis. And he authored Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Is very important. Okay, the second person who is important is W.C. Banerjee, the first president. इसके आगे ऐसे लिख दो. And lawyer by profession. ये भी जरूरी है. Third point is Subramanya Iyer, and he was a founded Hindu newspaper, very famous Hindu newspaper, and co-founded Madras Mahajan Sabha. There were two other members, V. Raghavachari and Anand Charlu. ऑफ 72 इसके अच्छा Anand Charlu and Veer Raghavachari. This was asked by UPSC in 1819. Madras Mahajan Sabha was established in 1880s. Okay, so it merged in the International Congress. As I told you, all the small regional organizations got together. Okay, okay. Then we have Subramaniam Iyer likh liya. Gopal Krishna Gokhale is very important, very interesting also. लिख लो पहले इसको. So Gokhale is regarded as the political guru. There are two reasons to it. See, Gandhi came to India in 1950. Where was Gandhi before this? Africa. So Gandhi was active from 1893 to 1915. That makes it 22 years. For 22 years, Gandhi stayed in Africa. Gandhi wanted to come to India, and Gandhi did come to India in 1909. कि मुझे कोई केस दिला दो. Gandhi was lawyer, but इधर उसकी दाल नहीं गली. In the sense, he got a job, he got a case. What was the case? He was working on the indentured laborers. Just to tell you in a nutshell, in 2 minutes, his political career starts from his professional career starts from 1893, where he goes to South Africa for fighting for the rights of indigenous indentured laborers. So these indentured laborers were in South Africa, which was ruled by the Britishers, because Africa was also the colony of Britishers. Britishers ruled in South Africa. There was obviously discrimination. So Indians were discriminated on the basis of color, nationality, because since Indians were indentured laborers किसे कहते हैं? रेलवे कंस्ट्रक्शंस के लिए, खदानों के लिए, माइंस वर्कर्स के लिए इंडियंस को लाया जाता था. इंडियंस कहाँ के? तमिलियंस, गुजरातीज, बंगालीज. So Gandhi went there, and they were vehemently discriminated. And there was this famous case where Gandhi was thrown out of train. So you look at, and you know, Gandhi being Gandhi, Gandhi. So he was like, so this is how the story goes. Gandhi is like well-led, British educated person, lawyer, bade ghar ka aadmi hai. So he goes to in 1989 he goes to Johannesburg. He was sitting in this train, and you know, the suddenly TT comes and usko कहता है कि एक क्लास टिकट लेके तू क्या कर रहा है? So you see, he's thrown out of the class. You see, he's thrown out of the train. It's a very famous thing. Everybody knows about it. But Gandhi was a person who was like very adamant person. He's just non-violence is just a myth. If you because I've read 3 books on Gandhi. तो गांधी कहता है कि अगर मेरे में ताकत होती ना तो बहुत मारता उस दिन उसको. अगर मेरे में ताकत होती तो उसको बहुत मारता उस दिन. But I'm so thin. I don't have this thing. On top of that, when Gandhi is in Kathiawar, he's from Kathiawar. 1869 he is born. So what happens is Diwan का बेटा है. His guru is a Jain, from where he gets the non-violence का thing. Jain भी non-violence होता है, मैंने तुम्हें बताया. So he goes to, and he's very, very much into girls, dance. He learns dance, and that's what is written. I was more into girls, and I used to take dance classes. Look at a person who transforms like anything. He accepts it. When he is in UCL, he's in of University College of London. बहुत बड़ी बात है भाई. He's English speaking well, you know, dressing and all. देखने में तो गांधी was like anything. बहुत ही गंदे दिखते थे गांधी. On top of that, दांत नहीं थे जब बूढ़े हुए तो. I'll show you the picture when I'll be teaching Gandhi. So cut to he goes to South Africa and he sees how things are happening. So he is called by a Gujarati Muslim, Memon Muslim. So first thing he comes is he goes to Johannesburg. So the first thing he does is he's having a food with a Muslim guy of Indian origin. Since he was Gujarati, he was speaking the same language. So how can Gandhi then coming to India accept that Muslims should be killed or sent to Pakistan? भाई हिंदुस्तान में भी कई सिख परिवारों के आसपास मुस्लिम लोग रहते थे. So, and the people who were killed from there are Muslims too. And the people who are killed from here are Muslims too. The people who are killed from there are Sikhs too. The people who are raped there are Muslim women too and Hindi women too. So it's just that everybody is in lose-lose situation just because the partition. Partition was nothing but what do you call it? A disruption when Britishers wanted to go. भाई नुकसान तो हमारा हुआ ना, हमारे लोग मरे ना, सिख हो मुसलमान हो, अपने लोग मर गए ना सारे. Coming back to Gandhi, so he's staying with this Neiman Muslim family के भाई उसका host है, वो तो उसका client है, so he stays there. When he's there in so he fights for the rights of Indian individual laborer of these three castes, namely Tamilians, Gujaratis and Bengalis. अब भाई यहाँ से तो दूर कौन जाएगा काम करने के लिए, जो गरीब होगा. गरीब सबसे ज्यादा कहाँ है? बंगाल में, तमिलनाडु में भी थी, and it was a coastal state also, and Maharashtra, Gujarat of course. So he goes there. So he fights for the rights of Indians who were taken up as the second-grade citizens. अब जो बच्चे हिंदुस्तानी लेबरर्स के वहां होते थे उनको वहां की राइट्स नहीं मिलते थे. They were told to be illegal childs. Indians were not allowed to go beyond a certain place where they were living. And there was a thing called, मतलब हाँ वो तो है ही. There was a thing that there was a registration certificate. Indians were supposed to carry this certificate everywhere. There was a movie, Gandhi, you might have heard about it. So what Gandhi does is, वो थोड़ा संकी टाइप का जला देता है, वो कहता है मैं यूज नहीं करूंगा इसको. So he is burning this publicly. But he's fighting for other people. No, that makes him different to others. So he's fighting. Every time he burns one registration certificate, the lathi person hits him a lathi. He picks him again. He burns it again. Usko padta hai again. He's very adamant. He's very sunky too. No, but that's how the world knows Gandhi. He's very adamant. But his non-violence is the violence जैसे औरतें करती हैं कि मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगी, तो पति को झुकना पड़ता है. You understand? And kids do. I will not eat food. You understand what I'm trying to say? You are doing non-violence, but you are not harming others. You are just harming yourself. That's the Jainism thing. You understand what I'm trying to say? 22 years, he devises his own operations. He finds a newspaper. So a person who is eating with Muslims, who is working with Tamilians, Gujaratis, will be having a internationalist approach. On top of that, who has been educated in foreign university, who had worked in foreign country for 22 years, obviously will be having a internationalist outlook. Understand what I'm trying to say? So this is a bit about Gandhi. I can go 2 hours more, but the point is, जब मैं गांधी पढ़ाऊंगा next class में. So in 1903, this is the first of its kind, a multilingual newspaper which is published in Gujarati, Tamil. The reason I've told you, because his people whom he's working with is Tamilian, Bengali, Muslims, Gujaratis. ठीक है? So coming back to Gokhale, अब 1915 बीच की कहानी बाद में. So in 1915, गोखले इसको बुलाता है, कहता भाई बहुत हो गई, हवा आ जा. तो he says, हिंदुस्तान के हालात कैसे हैं? बोला कि यार अंग्रेजों ने बुरा हाल कर रखा है. 1915, the first world war is going on. 1914, revolutionary terrorism is going on. There are two phases of revolutionary terrorism. First phase is the phase I'll be talking about in a short while, is individual heroism. मारो भाग जाओ, बम फेंको भाग जाओ. The Anushilan Samiti. Of Bengal. This is the first phase of it, from 1903 to 1913. After 1913, we see another level of Punjabi youth coming up, like Gurbachan Singh Bagga, like Bhagat Singh. Abhi aayenge dhire. That is the third phase. Oxford graduate, I'm forgetting the name, Lala Hardayal, Gadar Party. Of सैन फ्रांसिस्को. दिस इज द सेकंड फेज ऑफ रेवोल्यूशनरी. फर्स्ट में मारो उनको, बम्स मारो, मैं लिखवाऊंगा सब, डोंट वरी, जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड द स्टोरी. सो 1903 टू 1913 में क्या क्या चीजें हुई हैं. स्वदेशी मूवमेंट हो गया, स्वदेशी मूवमेंट को क्वेल कर दिया. तिलक वाज सेंट टू जेल, मांडले जेल में. देयर वाज अ सेडिशन एक्ट व्हिच वाज पास्ड इन 1907. देयर वाज एक्ट ऑफ 1919 मॉडल मिंटो रिफॉर्म. देयर इज पार्टीशन इन विद इन द कांग्रेस. सूरत स्प्लिट. आई रिपीट, स्वदेशी मूवमेंट इन 1905. We have indigenous industries coming up. In this phases, like स्वदेशी मूवमेंट को तोड़ने के लिए क्या हुआ, टूट गया कैसे, पार्टीशन तो अनल कर दिया गया था. द पॉइंट इज स्वदेशी मूवमेंट होता है. वी हैव स्वदेशी मूवमेंट गोइंग ऑन. स्वदेशी इज व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू अबाउट स्वदेशी? फर्स्ट टेल मी. ठीक है, ठीक है. व्हाट इज पिकेटिंग? You have to convince the person. ये शॉप है, यहां पर तुम लोग 10-12 लोग खड़े हो, जो भी आ रहा है उसको बोलो भाई मत जाओ यहां पर. That's called picketing. Picketing हो रही है नहीं. So you have to peacefully protest, not to buy, or you have to convince this guy. इसमें क्या हुआ, कई बंगाल की केमिकल फार्म्स स्टैब्लिश हुई उस वक्त. हिंदुस्तान में कई मिल्स स्टैब्लिश हुई स्वदेशी मूवमेंट. स्टोरी को समझो. और मैनचेस्टर की कई मिल्स बंद हो गई क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान तो उसकी मार्केट थी ना. नथिंग सब्सटैंशियल कुड कम अप, बट द पॉइंट इज स्टूडेंट्स वर्कर्स में काफी अवेयरनेस आई. हिंदू मुस्लिम्स को काफी यूनिटी आई. एंड इटसेल्फ इट वाज अ फर्स्ट मास मूवमेंट. लीडर्स विल डिस्कस. सो देन वी हैड एक्सट्रीमिस्ट और मॉडरेट्स में फर्क. सूरत स्प्लिट हुआ. देन वी सी इसका फायदा उठाया. 1909 का एक्ट तो पास हो गया, बट इससे पहले क्या हुआ था, सेडिशन एक्ट भी पास किया. जो भी गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ गलत बोलता है उसको जेल में डाल दो. किसको डाला? तिलक को. कितने साल के लिए? 2 years के लिए. कहां? काला पानी. खूब कुटाई की उनकी. एंड व्हेन ही केम ही वाज अ बिट नरम. पहले गरम दल के थे. सो दिस इज So simultaneously, first phase is also going on, and Surat split took place. You understand what I'm trying to say? बन रहा है ना कनेक्शन? In 1909 एक्ट भी पास हो गया, मॉडरेट्स भी खुश हो गए और तिलक को भी भेज दिया उन्होंने. ये सब देख रहे हैं रिवोल्यूशनरीज भी. And here starts the second phase of revolutionary terrorism. जब सैन फ्रांसिस्को में हिंदुस्तान के लोग खुद को इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं कि भाई अब ऐसे नहीं चलेगा, इंडिविजुअली मत बम फेंको, अब इकट्ठे हो जाओ, आर्म्ड रिबेलियन करो. Convince Punjabis who are settling outside, convince our soldiers who are in Indian Army, British Army, to rise up as an armed rebellion, because World War II is going on, and we are supporting whom? We are supporting Germany, because Germany and England are. We are getting arms from whom? Germany. Against whom? गुड क्वेश्चन. हम लोग किसके साथ हैं? हमारे सोल्जर्स ब्रिटेन के साथ हैं. हम कन्विंस क्यों कर रहे हैं उनको कि उसको छोड़ो? हम आर्म्स किससे ला रहे हैं? जर्मनी से ला रहे हैं. हमको ज्वाइन करो. I'll tell you. So the second phase is about the World War II being fought between which powers? Britain and Germany. Britain is an imperial power with whom our soldiers are there because हम लोग उसके कॉलोनी है. बट हमारे जो रेवोल्यूशनरी टेररिस्ट है ना, जैसे लाला हरदयाल, वो कहते हैं कि हम जर्मनी से सपोर्ट ला रहे हैं, सोल्जर्स ब्रिटिशर्स के लाएंगे. हमारे लोग, हम लोग किससे ला रहे हैं? वेपन्स जर्मनी से. जर्मनी किसका दुश्मन? दुश्मन का दुश्मन दोस्त होता है ना. जैसे 3 लड़के हैं, उनमें से 2 लड़कियां दुश्मन है, तो ये लड़की तीसरी लड़की से मिल जाएगी, उसकी गॉसिप करना शुरू कर देगी. तो मतलब ये दोनों दुश्मन, तो ये उसकी दोस्त. You get it? अरे मेरी तो कहीं भी लड़कियां बुरी होती है यार, मैं तो अच्छे एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ। वो बेचारा देखो आया ही नहीं आज, इतना दुखी हो गया मुझसे। इन माई मैरिज देयर वाज अ ग्रुप फ्रॉम माय मैम साइड हु वाज टू कम, तो वो आए नहीं, तो वो तीनों लड़के एक दूसरे को गाली दे रही है, बेगा आज वो तेरी शादी में ही नहीं है। सब मैंने कहा बहन बस हो गया। why are you talking to still hosting them and all, like ठीक है यार, our world is very different. I just भाई किसी से कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गया, भाई इतने दूर शादी थी नहीं आ पाए, it's okay. Some people don't turn up in your shadis, so सबसे दुश्मनी थोड़ी हो सकती है भाई। I'm a very violent person from inside, you see. वैसे भी मैं बहुत लड़ाई करता हूँ, but you see, sometimes you have to hold on. I'm a very short-tempered guy. मुझे बहुत जल्दी गुस्सा आता है, but the point is that's how you change. एक टाइम के बाद आपको गर्मी नहीं चलेगी, हर जगह गर्मी दिखा के नहीं चलता है। Sometimes you have to be very calm, very composed. Apart from class तो भाई अब क्या है, पढ़ाना ही है, उस पर तो गुस्सा नहीं कर सकते ना सब। और मेरा नेचर क्लास में गुस्सा करने वाला है भी नहीं, बट आउटसाइड होता है ना कई बार। You see, so what I have learned is after a while, if you give a chance, think about it. हाँ मैंने सही में गुस्सा किया, गलत किया, हाँ वैसे इतनी भी जरूरत नहीं थी ओवर रिएक्ट करने की, इतना जरूरी नहीं था मतलब, ठीक है। तो ये वो नहीं कहती क्या बोलती है उसको, कौन है वो पंजाब की तिवारी, मनोज तिवारी, बाप पे जाना नहीं, ऐसे ही बोल रही थी वो नहीं है, डॉली बिद्रा। So we all become Dolly Bidra. I don't watch this thing, I have just seen the shorts. So that is the thing. You quietly ask yourself that was it necessary to fight with XYZ, react on Twitter, on WhatsApp. The other day, like 3 days back, a lady like मुझे बहुत गालियाँ दी उसने फोन पे. I was in metro. मैं कैसे उसकी लाइफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रहा होगा. No, not abused me. She said कि यार आप मुझसे मदद मांग रहे हो and all. Why do you this thing and all. So I thought, am I supposed to react on this? I thought, okay, madam, take it. I just asked for a help, and she said, no, why are you asking help from me and stuff like this? Like, she's mad. Why should I? So उससे मुझे बुरा लगा, लेकिन मुझे लगता है it's okay. Don't react. Just respond. अगर आप सबके साथ लड़ने लग गए, फिर तो दुनिया में फिर दोस्त बचेंगे नहीं आपके. Understand what I'm trying to say? That's what I have learned from Gandhi. कि कहीं हर जगह रिएक्शन देना जरूरी नहीं है. Just stay in your skin. अपना पीस ऑफ माइंड अपने पास रखो. ऐसे तो बहुत लोग आएंगे आपका मूड खराब करने के लिए, आपको बोलने के लिए, बट वो आपके ऊपर है, आप तो उसको अथॉरिटी दे रहे हो ना कि आपके दिमाग से खेले वो। अरे तेरे को तो वो ऐसा कह रही थी यार, अच्छा उसकी तो बीप व्हाई, मे बी उसने ऐसा कहा भी ना हो, तो तुम्हारे पढ़े लिखे होने का फायदा क्या है? तो यहां तक समझ गए? तो इंडियन रिवोल्यूशनरीज वर साइडिंग विद जर्मनी अगेंस्ट ब्रिटेन, एंड व्हाट वर दे डूइंग? इंपोर्टिंग आर्म्स फ्रॉम जर्मनी इन इंडिया, एंड दीज स्टूडेंट्स, Lala Hardayal was in America, was an Oxford student. तो हिंदुस्तान में ही नहीं, हिंदुस्तान के बाहर भी, this is the second phase. And the third phase is Bhagat Singh ji. So Bhagat Singh is a socialist in 1920s. Now these people, revolutionaries, coming along with the Indian National Congress, like C.R. Das, like Bhagat Singh. C.R. Das के वो थे सूर्य सेन कहां थे? चिटगांव आर्मरी रेड में। और ये दोनों कौन थे? कांग्रेस थे, सारे कांग्रेसी थे ना। What is the time period? What is happening around the world? Russian Revolution, guys. What is also happening? Establishment of All India Trade Union Congress in 19. भाई तुमको समझ में आ रहा है कि मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? वो 1920 में समझाऊंगा, वो तो नॉन कॉपरेशन के टाइम पे। Every fact is written is attached to a different story. So what I'm trying to tell you is, the leadership, be it moderates or revolutionary, had the same intention. These people were importing arms, Gandhi was not. So this is the third phase. अब क्या होता है देखो, अब मैंने आपको एक बात बताई कि जब गांधी जवान था तो गुस्से वाला होगा, फिर वो बूढ़ा हुआ तो कम गुस्से वाला हो गया। सेम हैपेंड टू दीस पीपल आल्सो। अब इनको लगा कि इफ, अब हुआ क्या, रेवोल्यूशनरी जिन्होंने किंग्सफोर्ड पे हमला किया, who tried to kill the magistrates and stuff, they were killed, they were hanged. This was not possible कि बार बार मारोगे फर्स्ट फेज में. सेकंड फेज में सोचा नहीं यार, अब थोड़ा सा लोगों को इकट्ठा करते हैं, आर्म्स लेके आते हैं, फौज को कन्विंस करते हैं. थर्ड फेज में सोचा नहीं नहीं नहीं, पॉलिटिक्स में आना भी जरूरी है. सो सीआर दास वाज अ कांग्रेसी एंड आल्सो अ स्वराजिस्ट. इसको भी डिस्कस करेंगे, डोंट वरी, डिस्कस करेंगे थोड़ा ज्यादा. समझ में आ रहा है कि स्वराजिस्ट पार्टी क्या है? कांग्रेस के अंदर एक पार्टी है, कांग्रेस स्वराजिस्ट पार्टी. कब स्टैब्लिश हुई थी? 1922. किसने एस्टैब्लिश की? सीआर दास ने. सीआर दास का डिसपाइल कौन था? सूर्य सेन, जिसने क्या किया था? चिटगोंग आर्मी रेड की थी. चिटगोंग में एक थाने में इन्होंने क्या किया था? सारे आर्म्स चुरा लिए थे. इस पे एक मूवी बनी अभिषेक बच्चन की, रेस एंड नेशनलिटी. यस यस यस. चलो भाई लिखो. इसके बाद अब मैं लिखवाऊंगा सिर्फ रेवोल्यूशनरीज वाला भी. ये लिख लो, गोखले का फाउंडेड सर्वेंट्स ऑफ इंडियन सोसाइटी. लिख लिया दोनों ने? सुरेंद्रनाथ बैनर्जी इज आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. बंगाली लिखा था मैंने न्यूज़पेपर. एंड राष्ट्रगुरु इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये इसको हाईलाइट कर लेना. राष्ट्रपिता एंड राष्ट्रगुरु में फर्क है ना भाई. The moderates had this generic this thing. Here what is important in achievements में drain theory जरूर लिखना. बाकी कुछ लिखो ना लिखो. This theory is very important. What is drain of wealth theory? ठीक है, इसको लिख लो. This is very important. Achievements करके write this as the first point. This second point and appointment of commission is also important. Well by commission on Indian expenditure. So they might also ask what was the outcome of the drain of wealth theory. So you can say that there was an what is drain of wealth theory? Actually what is happening is भाई वॉर में खर्चा भी हमारी उससे हो रहा है, बाहर जाके सैलरीज भी हम जो इंग्लैंड में ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनियां ब्रिटिश क्राउन के वो हैं जो यहाँ से देखते हैं, उनका भी हिंदुस्तान से सैलरी जा रहा है. वो है रिसोर्सेज भी लेके जाओगे, वो भी लेके जाओगे, टैक्स भी लेके जाओगे, री इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करोगे हिंदुस्तान में. वही ऑप्शन था ना. डन. Yet this is a very important part I would like to highlight. These are Tilak Saab, Bipin Chandra Pal and Bal Pal और लाल लाजपत राय. लाला जी, बाल गंगाधर तिलक, बिपिन चंद्र पाल. Guys, this is the difference between these two. Okay, very generic. You can have a look at it when it comes to you have the PDF with you. But the point is, they wanted constitutional reforms. The Swaraj thing is not explained at all. Swaraj chahiye, but explain nahi kiya tha. Okay, these people wanted concessions. These people wanted total end of the war. Extremists, I said, took radical steps, which I'll be taking in a little while. And these people wanted constitutional agitation. They had faith. ये थोड़ा सा they had faith in British justice कि भाई British पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं and all, which ended subsequently जब in 1919 नहीं after that all no उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा, ये वहाँ का कांड हुआ था ना अपना पंजाब का जलियांवाला, so all the this thing shattered. Okay, so this is very important. Yes, 3 P's they wanted to follow: prayer, petition, and protest. And these people were like, नहीं भाई ऐसे तो नहीं चलेगा. And that's what I told you कि भाई तिलक साहब wanted कि स्वराज मेरा क्या है, जनसिद्ध अधिकार है. But जब उनको जेल में भेजा तो उसके बाद थोड़ा नरम हो गए वो. फिर होता ही है ना आदमी को थोड़ा एज के साथ साथ you get more mature. And the way you think that how this British rule is tyrannical, तो जान भी जा सकती है, तो people would get into that this thing. ठीक है? The leaders are very important. इसको लिख लो यार, ये फैक्चुअली प्रीलिम्स में काम आएगा. वो तो तुम्हें स्पेक्ट्रम में मिल जाएगा. राजनारायण घोष, विपिन चंद्र घोष, गलत है, A.K. दत्त, लोकमान्य बाल गंगाधर तिलक. And these are the people who are there in Swadeshi movement also. ठीक है? इसके नीचे वाला जो पॉइंट है ना, दैट्स आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. What are the moderates doing and what are the extremists doing? They are economic critic of imperialism. These are demanding for Swaraj. This is the time period of Swadeshi. They are talking about mass movement. These are not. These are talking about national education along with him. Upliftment of downtrodden means अब क्या हो गया है, downtrodden में कहीं ना कहीं सीन में आने लग गया. Not wholeheartedly, but yes, to a large extent, yes. We do see rise of revolutionary movements, this which we'll be discussing. कहाँ की? This Anushilan Samiti. Why Anushilan Samiti was coming up? How did they perceive Bengalis? क्या थे Bengalis? Educated थे, उनको बोलते थे तो effeminate है, non-martial races. ठीक है, इसको लिख लो. You see, I've told you who were these people, so I don't want you to write this. जमींदार अपर मिडिल क्लास थे, ये लोग क्या थे? फिर भी लो मिडिल क्लास के लोग थे. This point is very important. These 3-4 points, ये और बहुत सारे, इनको जल्दी क्विकली लिख लो अपने टर्म्स में. कल कर ट्यूसडे को लूंगा मैं पक्का। कल क्या कुछ प्लान है तुम लोग का? रिवाइज कर लेना यार कल ना। कल टेस्ट भी दे लो। अरे पहले बोलते हो टेस्ट चाहिए, फिर बोलते हो टेस्ट नहीं चाहिए। मॉर्निंग का दूंगा मैं वेडनेसडे थर्सडे को। मतलब हाँ वेडनेसडे थर्सडे, डोंट वरी, यू विल बी हैविंग सो मेनी टेस्ट कमिंग अप, डोंट वरी। प्लीज डोंट लीव पास्ट ईयर पेपर्स आल्सो। ठीक है, सो ओके, सो स्वदेशी के बारे में कुछ लिख लो तुम। स्वदेशी मूवमेंट, आई हैव गिवन यू द दिस थिंग, एक आइडिया दे दिया, बस लिखना जरूरी है। द मूवमेंट, बैकग्राउंड लिखो इसका, बैकग्राउंड। द मूवमेंट हैड इट्स रूट्स, द मूवमेंट हैड इट्स रूट्स in the anti-partition, in the anti-partition movement, in the anti-partition movement, which had started in started to oppose Lord Curzon's decision of dividing the province of Bengal. Of dividing the province of Bengal. By Congress, petitions were written to the government public meetings were organized. And ideas were spread. And ideas were spread through newspapers such as हितवादी, ये लिखा हुआ है, संजीवनी, बंगाली में लिखते हैं तो बनी लिखते हैं, संजीवनी, एंड बंगाली और बंगाली. In August 1905, at Calcutta Town Hall, a massive meeting was held. And the formal proclamation of the Swadeshi movement was made. After the partition came into force, widespread opposition was shown by the people. Of Bengal by singing Vande Mataram. Full stop. Rabindranath Tagore composed Amar Sonar Bangla. Amar Sonar Bangla मतलब मेरा सुंदर बांग्लादेश. People tied Rakhis on each other's hands to symbolize unity. Movement was led by Bal Gangadhar Tilak in Pune and Bombay. Lala Lajpat Rai and Ajit Singh in Punjab. Syed Haider Raza in Delhi. Syed Haider Raza in Delhi. And Chidambaram Pillai in Madras. In 1906, Congress session held at Calcutta. Under the presidentship of Dadabhai Naoroji. Which declared self-government as the goal of INC or International Congress. ठीक है? Participation of people. Who participated? Students participated most actively. Women also took an active participation. Muslims also participated. However, upper and middle class Muslims stayed away. Upper and middle class stayed away because partition से उनको फायदा हो रहा था ना. बंगाली ईस्टर्न मुस्लिम प्रोविंसेस अलग कर दिए, उनको पावर मिल जाती. अंडरस्टैंड? ओके, सो ये तो पार्टीशन वाला पार्ट हो गया. स्विच ऑफ की स्विच ऑन? इसको ऑन कर दूं? बंद हो गया. इसको कर दूं? ठीक. अरे तो सही में खुल गया. गाइस, रेवोल्यूशनरी मूवमेंट का बैकग्राउंड मैंने तुम्हें दे दिया. ठीक है, क्या था? अब तुम लोग बताओ, व्हाट वाज द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द रेवोल्यूशनरी मूवमेंट इन इंडिया एंड व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय रेवोल्यूशन?
Modernists were कर ही रहे थे वहाँ पर, they were trying to bring up the change, but as the people at the ground level could see कि these people are just doing the everything, तो हमें वो जो हमारे साथ tradition है, we were not able to get the response. So they also saw that Tilak was going to the jail. So they were seeing that how the kind of garden was being or something was happening, but ground level nahi aaya. So it was basically the middle class taking up the action and the lower class. We need to bring some action. So उससे वो revolutionary movement बन गया. And revolutionary because I think revolutionary movement is basically compilation of all the both we need to take a big grand move together as a whole nation.
एनर्जी बचा रही है अपनी, बुद्धा अपनी एनर्जी बचा रही थी. They have divided here. I have divided into two phases. I have told you the third phase also. The early revolutionary movement, as it says, and the later revolutionary movements, what can be divided? The aim was to overthrow the British rule and establishing the self-government, as they have said. Where were these people getting inspiration from?
Introducing the Prelims Target course and Prelims test series at ProdEgyIAS. Designed for UPSC Prelims 2026, this comprehensive program offers in-depth classes on history, geography, science and tech, environment, polity and governance, and economy. Stay updated with current affairs and sharpen your skills with our Prelims test series consisting of 50 full-length tests covering all subjects along with CSAT. Join ProdEgyIAS and stay ahead.